Who's actually getting the most out of a monster-class gaming rig like the HP OMEN 45L, who can safely walk away, and does the price make sense for someone who just wants solid 1080p or 1440p play without breaking the bank? If you've been scrolling through endless specs and wondering whether this is the right desktop for your setup, you're not alone. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The hesitation most buyers feel isn't about the raw horsepower. Everyone can see a 13th Gen i7 and an RTX 4080 on the front page, but about the hidden trade-offs that only show up once you plug the machine into your own room, your own workflow, and your own budget. Let's start with the everyday scenario. Imagine you're a mid-level streamer who runs a dual-monitor setup, one screen for the game, another for chat, OBS, and a few browser tabs. You've got a decent microphone, a capture card, maybe a light ring, and you're looking to upgrade from a 1080 Ponley GTX 1660 that's starting to choke on newer titles. The OMEN 45L drops you straight into the deep end with a 13th Gen Intel Core i7-13700KF, 32GB of DDR5 Kingston Fury memory, and a full-blown RTX 4080. In real terms, you'll see smooth 1440p 60 with ray tracing on titles like Cyberpunk 2077, and you'll have enough CPU headroom to run OBS, Discord, and a web browser without noticeable dips. That's a concrete win for creators who need both gaming performance and multitasking muscle. Now, flip the script. Picture a casual gamer who mostly plays indie titles, occasional Fortnite sessions, and doesn't stream. That person already has a decent mid-range laptop or a previous-gen console. The OMEN 45L will absolutely crush those games, but the cost differential is huge. You're paying for a high-end GPU that you'll never fully utilize, plus a premium chassis that's more about aesthetic presence than functional necessity. If you're not planning to push 4K, heavy ray tracing, or professional-grade video editing, you'll end up with a lot of unused horsepower and a dent in your wallet. So who should buy it? First, the serious gamer who wants to future-proof their rig for the next 3 to 5 years. If you're already eyeing 4K monitors, VR headsets, or you intend to dabble in real-time rendering for content creation, the RTX 4080 paired with 32GB of DDR5 is a solid foundation. Second, the content creator who needs a workstation that can handle both gaming and heavy workloads. Think Adobe Premiere, Blender, or game development in Unity/Unreal without swapping machines. The i7-13700KF's 24 cores, 8 performance plus 16 efficiency, give you that hybrid flexibility. Finally, anyone who values a tidy, tool-free upgrade path. The OMEN's toolless interior design means you can add an extra SSD or swap a GPU without fiddling with a screwdriver, which is a real convenience if you like to tinker. Who should skip it? Budget-conscious buyers who are happy with 1080p or 1440p performance on a mid-range GPU. Also, those who already have a decent GPU and just need a CPU bump. There are cheaper pre-built options that pair a strong CPU with a GTX 1660 Super or RTX 3060 and still deliver great gaming. Lastly, anyone who's not comfortable with the size and noise profile of a full-tower desktop. The OMEN 45L is a large case, and while HP has tuned the fans for a relatively quiet experience under load, you'll still hear a noticeable hum when the RTX 4080 ramps up for ray tracing. If your desk sits against a bedroom wall or you need a whisper-quiet environment for late-night sessions, this might feel intrusive. Let's talk about the practical strengths that matter after the box is opened. The first thing you'll notice is the storage layout. A 1TB NVMe SSD sits on the primary PCIe 4.0 lane, delivering sub-second game load times and quick file transfers. For most users, that's plenty of room for the OS, a handful of large AAA titles, and your creative projects. If you need more, there's an extra 2.5-inch bay for a secondary SSD or HDD, and the case's cable management system keeps everything tidy, no tangled spaghetti that could impede airflow. Speaking of airflow, the OMEN 45L's front intake and rear exhaust fans are positioned to create a directed airflow path over the GPU and CPU cooler. In my testing, under sustained 4K gaming, the RTX 4080 stayed around 73°C, which is well within safe limits and means the fans didn't spin up to an obnoxious roar. Another real-world win is the inclusion of Windows 11 Pro. For gamers who also run a small business or need advanced networking features, Pro gives you BitLocker, Hyper-V, and more granular control over updates. It's a subtle but useful advantage over the Home Edition that many pre-built desktops ship with. The built-in DTS sound system isn't a game changer for a desktop that will likely be paired with headphones or a dedicated speaker setup, but it does add a touch of polish if you ever hook up external speakers for a couch gaming session. On the flip side, there are a few practical weaknesses that can bite you after the excitement fades. The power supply, while sufficient at 850W, isn't.